Standard and basic as per Ascension symptoms. You know, we all get there. We all have them. And I was going to check in with you guys just for a brief moment, because what we are moving into in the next week, as I mentioned in the video, for the Capricorn moon, it can be pretty intense. And it depends on how you're going to take it. I would say this can be a time of conflict. This can be a time where people may be a little bit more unhinged, and we are having an aspect that is going to be occurring shortly, and it's pretty much going to be sitting there for about a week. And it's Venus making an opposition to Pluto, so it can be pretty nasty, so to speak. So, relating to karmic path and karmic individuals, you know, sometimes we can say, gee, aren't we lucky? We do have a little bit of ego that some of us can be going through. From a spiritual point of view, we may have a viewpoint as to maybe what our counterpart is doing, maybe what that we feel they may not be doing. And they do have a lot of astrology going on, and it is relating to an activation within the Kundalini, which is why I did the video to balance that base chakra to ascension, because it's Capricorn. Now, with karmic individuals, I will be doing the next videos that'll be coming up. They're going to be based on element. And they're going to be for earth, air, fire, water with extensions. And they're going to be with whichever zodiac sign your twin flame is. You can look at that to see how they're directly relating to the connection within the karmic cycle, which I thought was maybe something we should look at, because particularly for connections, because it's in the energy of Capricorn, and we currently have Venus in Cancer, which is the shadow sign. It's what is and what isn't working. What is the foundation in which we're looking at it from? And that can be within all connections and contracts at the moment. So it is a time where tension points can be reaching their threshold. It can be where, be it we're leaving a job, be it we're starting a brand new one. It could be starting a brand new relationship. It could be ending a cycle and beginning another. But there is a shift, so to speak, and if both individuals really aren't balanced, and it could be a little bit of a rough ride, so to speak, but there will be some tension. How are we all doing? I don't know if the chat's on. I'm on my phone. And we have Mercury at the moment stationary. Hi, Failstar. We've got Mercury. Look, and even the sleeping patterns, you'll find that your sleeping patterns are a bit messed up. And I was going to cuss then. It was like, YILDIZ, Mercury. It's not that I chose to, but that was random. So it is a bit messed up. I woke up last night, well, this morning rather, at 2 a.m. and I had a message from Giggle, and, you know, she was awake too. And you'll find with Pisces, it's crown chakra, so you'll be really thirsty. You'll also find that because Mercury is there, we've got, you know, the North Node in Gemini. We also have had the eclipse in Gemini. Then Mercury was stationary. So our minds were very busy. We were very confused. There was too much going on, maybe headaches, confusion. You know, you're more accident prone as well. And definitely from an ascension point of view, you can find that you can be like really hungry for something, but not quite sure what you want. So you can be going to basic things, or even emotional eating, emotional nurturing, so to speak. That can be, you know, with pacifiers. And we're really guided to, instead of avoiding a problem of whatever it is, attempting to actually face it, attempting to look at such and go, okay, could I keep this up permanently? If I can't, what would I need to do to change that around? And it can be, you know, de-stressing, changing your schedule to alleviate some of that stress, but to try and take the burden off you. So during the time of Jupiter retrograde in Pisces, you'll find that you'll be redirecting and re-navigating. And although initially we may feel a little bit distorted, you'll probably find as Neptune goes retrograde, you'll have a bit more of an understanding and a reality check and go, okay, I've been basing something on X, Y, and Z. Now I'm seeing in my own personal life what I need to do to balance those things. You'll find that it makes more sense. At the moment, it might not make sense. And you can feel really tired. You won't have that fatigue the whole way through when we do have Jupiter there next year. It only happens to be because we have certain placements in Cancer, which is very nurturing and tired, and it's really important to balance the yellow chakra with that. And when it does come to your third eye, you could be getting headaches because we have Leo there. Now, by the time we reach the full moon in Capricorn, it can be a tense time either side. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Failstar. So it can be a tense time either side, and you're going to find, like I said, you're probably going to have issues sleeping. You could be feeling really tired. Hi, Yen. You could be feeling really tired. You might be feeling super triggered. Some of you may be very productive, which is, I always say this when you get nervous, you know, focus on service. You know, get busy. Get busy. Because your body then through the auric field is going to get so fatigued, you're going to be like, heck, okay, you know, I've worn that out. I'm already so tell me about it. So I've had to be really practical during Mercury because number one, it was in its own natal sign. Number two, with technology, point blank zero, and clients. During the retrograde, what I found was I was really researching what you guys want, how to approach the content, how to bring more to you in a balanced fashion earlier. And how to work all the platforms out. So that's been happening with me. Hi, Giggle. So we're going to pull some cards and we're going to have a look at how this is playing out. But like I said, it is one of those things where in the eye of the storm, going into the storm rather, and it's for all of us collectively. Okay? Not one of us are immune to it. It's meant to. I kept seeing Synchronicities Australia and Turkey. I was uploading. Oh, yeah. I am actually, doing guided meditation videos. The first one's a test run. It's perennial beats, which is perennial beats, whatever you call it. It's for the base chakra, but it's also for the moon. So it all comes down to your cup of tea, but I am creating new ones. There is a guided meditation I'm doing at the moment, which is something I did on my twin flame path, and I told Giggle about this. And it's where you can have a guided subliminal meditation through me, which is guiding you into a safe space, because we do a lot of times on the 5D believe that's the safest space to actually have the connection. So with it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to guide you to the garden, right? And from there, if a purgatory experience comes up, we're facing it in the safety of the garden. And by doing such, what you're doing and what we're going to be doing through this exercise is guiding you out of the garden to have a revelation that you can have that connection in the 3D. And so that was a little bit testing for me, and I haven't been able to find it again, but it did really work. And there was a lot of a purgatory experience that I actually had to address when I was looking at that subject. So it is beneficial. So I'm going to be doing a bunch of them. You know, each month I'm going to try and do a set relating to the moon. The next one I'm working on at the moment is for twin flames. But the reason I'm changing things up is to get it more balanced so I can be both in the members hub and here at YouTube and do more lives on both sides. But also so I can get that creative content to you that I promised. Okay? So at the beginning of each month, it's going to be a psychic update. Sometimes I'll come to you live. Sometimes it'll be pre-recorded depending on schedule, but I will be coming to you live. Then it's going to be twin flame videos, earth, air, fire, water. Then we're having the psychic energies with extensions, and the twin flames will have extensions. And then at the end of the month, we're having extensions in the moon videos. So that's how it's going so far, so I can get this creative content to you. Okay, there's something to do with our wishes, and some of us could be a little bit pessimistic. Some of us could have a revelation and an idea right now. We have the star card as the crowning energy, and usually the star card comes after a bloody tower. So you can realize your destiny by facing your fears. You also may be having a situation change. And 9 times out of 10, we don't actually understand how sometimes certain things do happen and it's for the betterment. So the analogy I used this morning was, you got an ingrown toenail and you're thinking, gee, you know, this hurts so much, but, you know, you're scared of what the outcome could be because they might accidentally do something silly, you know, if they take it out. And so you go into a fear-based frequency, and then when you actually dare to deal with it and actually have to physically have it removed, you realise the relief. So I'm sensing a sense of relief, but it's not going to be straight away. It does feel the slow burning pressure is almost the intuitive nature of something coming. But ultimately speaking, it is going to be to your benefit. You might not see it that way at the start, but this is why it's happening, is to push you to your destiny and to your hopes and dreams. I'm also feeling as though a lot of us are really trying to hold on to the past. Hold on to the past and feel that it was better than what the future can be. Because again, we are basing certain things on fear-based frequency and conditioning. When we had the eclipse in Sagittarius, as I mentioned, a lot of things to do with old habits, and it can, it can be behavioral, very similar to when we're children. If we're not getting attention, we can misbehave. And so through that misbehaving, we are trying and attempting to get our parents' attention. And this is just an example. It doesn't mean this is what we're doing. It's merely one example point. So some of these ingrained conditionings we have, we're having to outgrow. And that was the polarity of both the eclipse in Sagittarius and Gemini. So we're actually looking at going, heck, okay, that was my conditioning. Yes, is it right? Yes, is it wrong? It's not that it's right or wrong. It's that maybe it's not relevant to the circumstances moving forward. And in order to have that new energy, that new world, that new vibration, the old ways we were doing certain things won't work. Okay? Now, there can be interferences, and the interferences, I always look at third party. Sometimes we can be in our own lives at the moment giving our power away. Maybe we are making excuses. I'll do X, Y, and Z, but hey, I've got all of this over here. And trust me, I've done it this week. I have said that this week. The surprising, unique ways this is coming through can be us having brash attacks. It can be a little bit of narcissistic tendency. It can be snappiness, irritability, maybe shifting blame and, looking at perpetrator energy. But there's something to do with high psychic situations. There's something to do with us looking at, can there be interferences in our life, like weather patterns, like obstacles in the road, pebbles in the road, and can we say we can move above it? So this at a collective level is third-party energy and interferences. Sometimes when we get nervous, we focus on other people's service. And that's especially similar in a twin flame path. And I'm going to talk about twin in a minute as well, twin flames. So what I'm seeing from these two cards coming through is we're trying to hold on to the past. We now know to a degree what we're wanting to achieve, but we could have resent as to what we haven't achieved. Now, we may have had a revelation it was due to external influences, weather, environment, people, places, and things, a karmic. And again, we can become our own karmic within our life. And I do feel some of us are having this revelation. And when we say karmic, there's a karmic partner and there's a karmic cycle. Now, karmic cycles through our chakra system is where we have a belief and we're fixated on it quite heavily, so we can accidentally manifest it into our life to purge it. And once you purge it, you look at it in a different way, and so you don't resonate with it at the same frequency, so you're less inclined to re-attract it back into your life. I do feel there's a lot of patterns here that we're breaking, and it's old habits die hard. It's habits that we're looking at and we're leveling up. We're changing the way we're dealing with circumstances. You need coffee. Coffee is actually very good for the kidneys, apparently. I heard it on the radio. And I was like, good, I have to have an excuse because, I like coffee. I bet you need coffee, Failster, after yesterday. Shh. Anywho, we'll keep it prim and proper. Tight pursed. Okay, some of you are feeling as though you don't have enough finances coming in. Can you do it? Are you making a rational decision? Now, I do feel for a lot of you, after the Capricorn full moon, it is going to start flowing. Mercury retrograde was really unique. Some of us weren't socializing. Some of us weren't. It was really going into hermit mode, right? So the hermit mode energy has pushed us into, again, feeling very agitated, projecting, maybe feeling as though the things in our life aren't certain, they're not coming through, and really about where we're going. So I do feel some of you, especially if this is feminine based, some of you from the emotional point, the feminine base, there is this fear to do with external energies. There maybe had been this heavy focus on that side, and this is the problem with Mercury retrograde. We get into this fixed belief. It's a little bit like when we say it's Valentine's Day. Right? It's Valentine's Day. Did you lose someone? Oh, I'm sorry, Yen. Hi, Emma. Emma. A fully functioning office. I'm glad it turned out. So we're having these beliefs now, and so some of these circumstances that are happening are to free us. They're freeing us. We're healing, and some of these circumstances are making us move into a shadow of something that has previously happened. Right. Some of us are moving locations. Some of us are looking at where we have been the obstacles, but there is a situation and a solution that is going to be shown to us relating to our divine path. Okay? It's us stepping into our birthright, and it's us moving to a higher ascended path. Now, the commitment energy within connections is temporarily thwart because there's something you need to look at. And I've seen this through all my clients this week. And it is because of where the astrology is. It's temporary. It's temporary, right? It's temporary because we're meant to be seeing something so we can lighten the baggage, we can see a different perspective, we can shift forward, and we can have that balance. So things are being shifted about, and it can bring conflict up. The conflict that's there, it's the calm before the storm. And I'm going to pull 3 cards for masculines with the karmic and 3 cards for feminines with the karmic. And look, all of us can attract karmic energy into our life, be it's a person, place, thing, or belief. So we're going to see how it fares for the masculine. That does make sense. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, they have the devil card in reverse. They are turning over healthy habits there. They might be initially looking at it and going, wow, I'm really trying to cope with this ascension. And it's not necessarily that they have the tag, that they know that that's what it is, but it's ways of dealing with circumstances. They're actually looking at their emotions and their psychology. The Cancer axis at the moment has been pretty difficult. It's not like, and I don't like to compartmentalize things so heavily so that it makes it sound so, black and white, this is how it is. That's all it is, because that's not. There's so many different ways every human being looks at things. None of us are going to look at it the same. But from a very base level, this can feel, for a masculine going through this process, very unnatural. But it's almost calling upon them that they're needing to do such, that they're needing to change beyond this point. This connection that they've had with you is very, very tight. But also the polarity of the way they saw connections has been very different, okay? It has changed over the time. In their heart, they felt love looked different. Love in the past was quite manipulative. And I'm speaking in layman's terms of how people treated them. So in their heart, they felt maybe less self-worth than what they currently have right now. And that to them was like they felt they had to earn things. They felt people were very two-faced. They were... So again, they're tapping into the psychology of it. But, in the heart, they felt manipulated. I do feel some have dealt or are dealing with karmics that maybe made them feel less manipulated, and it will all be quite individual, but there's something to do with manipulation here. They also feel that, some of these lessons have been quite vengeful, but it could even be that that a karmic or a situation is quite vengeful, and some of the pain that can be coming out can feel that way. And yes, we're in Mercury's direct, but it's stationary. So this can bring karmics from the past back that can be quite aggressive and not want to play. Okay, they don't want. And, this can be where people haven't actually gotten over circumstances. They haven't directly, so not always do we usher the great energies in. I'll just be saying. Sometimes we usher a memory, and sometimes we can have... be confronted with adversity, and we get the light and the dark, and that's where we get the art of appreciation from. All of us will experience light and dark in our life. Great. Okay. If there's something they need to tackle, this will make it come to a head, and I do feel it could cause a tower moment. This then could follow through, and it's going to give them the fresh start. I do feel like they're trying to give circumstances and situations the benefit of the doubt, and it might have been due to family, children, the person's demeanour, but they feel they're stupid doing such. So there could be self-critical energy going on. There's something that's shifting in their life at the moment, and I feel they don't want to be that they're getting over it. Yeah, that's how it's coming through. They're getting over it. I feel it's coming very quickly. I feel it's almost like snap. Once it comes to that pivotal point, there's no turning back. But at the moment, it's almost like they're in the waiting room. It's like slow burning energy, you know? Not really enjoying it. They're not really enjoying it at all. Okay. I do feel for some, masculines are actually purging habits. This could be addictive tendencies, drinking, substance, things to that degree. It does appear that they're looking at that as part of the problem. I feel initially they were maybe doing such potentially to cope with extremities, but now it feels as though they're feeling that's a band-aid and that's not working and the ugly's still there. So it does feel as though they're actually looking at it going, this isn't even working anymore. So you're a dag. So it's like, okay, it's not so much avoidance. It's something that had worked before, but it simply doesn't. And this actually does happen in Ascension. It's almost like you become immune to that. So even if you did have a habit as per se, you'll find certain foods don't taste so good, certain ways of doing things just don't work anymore, and it's like you're wide awake. And this is really what I'm seeing. Masculines being wide awake, feeling very fatigued, waking up and still having that same polarity occurring and going, look, I need to address the devil in the detail. So they're really quickly overcoming some of these circumstances. They're very quickly getting to a point it's coming to a head. And I feel this will be the shift that is needed. And I feel it's coming near the Capricorn moon. So although some of you might have been feeling as though you should have had communication during Mercury retrograde, I feel this has been a very important part in the journey that they, we're tapping into their crown chakra. So with Jupiter and Pisces, it's really sparking that awakening and the differing viewpoint in it. So the lack of communication has been due to that, but I feel as it moves forward and after the full moon, this is where I feel a lot of you are going to be getting the ascension. Now, what do I mean by that? If they are physically shifting out of a karmic relationship, every card I pull is related to it, you will feel the connection triggered. So you're going to have to learn self-mastery and checking where the ascension's coming from. I do feel for some of you, it can feel like a tower moment and you can feel a little bit crazy. Just check if your vibration has been fine all day, it won't be your energy, it'll be another person. Sometimes it can even be somebody different. It doesn't always have to be your twin. You are becoming a psychic medium through the connection. So just be really open-minded when you get vibrations change. A, it could be someone you were thinking about. B, it could be a circumstance currently playing it in your life. C, it can be twin. Okay? And learn to trust the intuition. The intuition, you form a bad relationship with it when you say to yourself, oh, you're just delusional. Just accept and grow. And initially you'll have a lot of that with your family and other people around you. Ooh, okay, feminines. There's this strict energy coming through. It can be coming through two ways. A, it can be you saying, okay, I need to do something. And there's this real push energy coming through. It doesn't necessarily mean that that's how you feel. The push is the universe is pushing you to go beyond the veil. Now, the pushing may be that you are being guided to do something different. And it doesn't have to be, that's it, I'm moving on to another person. We've all been there. Okay, we've all been there. No shade. If it's divinely guided, I used to say, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. As in, You know, if you meet someone and you feel open to it, that's different. But it's not when we're making a statement, gee, this person hasn't leveled up, they haven't done what they need to do. I've been there, that I'm leaving you. Well, they're not there at the minute, right? Be it they're not communicating to you. So you're having this vibrational experience, okay? And so the strictness that's coming through, you might be getting really mad and looking at things from a very humanistic experience, and it's perfectly normal, it's natural, but your mind is being strict with yourself. Some of you could be moving into that mind mastery and saying, okay, I'm feeling this energy, it's not mine, okay, you know, get yourself grounded, which is smart to do right now. Especially because we're going to have Neptune and Pisces retrograde, more prone to psychic attacks. So be careful with how you control your energy. You don't have to go and run and hide for the hills. Learn to control your energy. It's yours, right? You're creating healthy boundaries, but there could be inner child wounds coming up. It might be abandonment. It may be, are my creative projects going to be okay? But it's also within yourself. Once you've done the purge of certain things, this strictness can be a healthy thing, because as I said, in the connected energy, the interferences, all the things where we have been giving our power away and not focusing on our own mission and purpose, you get the 50-50 balance there. You don't have to go from one extremity to another, but tick those boxes when it does come to your life. I do feel some of you creative projects, you know, it's the self-esteem base, and some of you this can be children, some of you this can be a business venture, but it's also with the people you love, nearest and dearest, you know, really creating healthy boundaries, but not having to raise your voice. And some of us actually have to, but you get my gist. There's something being shifted about so that you can have your structure, your foundation, your finances, and your emotions in check. Now, I do feel some of you are picking up the ascension from the past. Some of you are feeling really tired because in the past there's been a lot of adversity when it comes to the spiritual connection. But you don't want to fight. You know, you want to make love, not war. And that is how it's coming through. But some of you may be at war with that theory if you haven't seen resolve. Okay, some of you are just not going to be prepared, and I feel the unpreparedness is if this was to move forward. What is this relating to, please? Okay, so yeah, unprepared is you may feel that it's going to take a long time, but it could be arriving sooner than you think, because the direction in which you're moving is towards love. Some of you may actually directly contact your twin, and that can be to give them a piece of your mind. And I'm not saying that's what I suggest to do. I'm saying that's what some of you may be guided to do. But there is forthright communication. Some of you know what needs to happen in order for this to be a success. But for some reason, I feel feminines, it's you that's contacting the masculine. Let me have a look. Yes, it could be something that's said to you, or it might be a thought process. Some of you may be hearing about masculine through the grapevine, something that's happened. Some of you could be receiving, yeah, I thought as much. Some of you, the karmics might call you. Look, clarify. Won't see it coming. You personally from an ex. Okay, it does appear that there could be an ex contact you. And you're like, I'm doing my thing. I ain't got nothing to do with me. But it's like they're trying to bring the problems to you because they can't get through to masculine. Okay, masculine really, he finds it all a bit immature. It's funny. It's like they've let go of the circumstance. They know what they need to do. They're working on their foundation. They're working on leveling up. They're willing to be consistent for the correct person, and they also know what they have to do to work for it, and they know what they're willing to fight for. They know that they're not happy with, what would the word be? Falsities. But somebody isn't wanting to let this go, and there could be a little bit of drama relating to third party. But the third party doesn't feel it's intimate. It feels it's more communication. They don't want to come towards you while that drama's going on. They do not want to drag that drama with you. And if it has reared its ugly head in the last week, which I think it's more so the last week to 2 weeks, be it it's an emotional story, a person physically contacting them, something weighing on their mind, there's something they're needing to finalise, and it feels of the utmost of urgency. And I do feel that it's more the external that isn't letting it go, or during Mercury retrograde, it's taken a little bit longer to deal with. For some, it could be a contract. But they're saying, you know, that it's not that they don't want to be with you. They don't want to bring this issue and this drama with them, because there's a lot of conflict here, and it is to end this cycle. Okay, what is it that they're doing with? My gut hurts thinking about it. It feels awful. They're mad. I'm getting pain right there, all of a sudden. There's something they've heard through the grapevine that's triggering them. It's like somebody's talking about them. Somebody's talking schmack about them. You know? Yeah, they've had it. They just really want to move forward. They really want to move forward. Okay, 3 warning cards, please, for the connection. 3 warning cards for the collective. Number 1, whatever is going down, it's for the bigger situation. Something is ending. We've got the Death card. Okay, something from the past is coming back. This is an old storyline, an old situational ship. It hasn't ended, but it hasn't ended. It doesn't want to go away. It's dragging it back up. Yeah, I kind of figured. This can be something to do with family, something to do with a home. For some of you, this can be relating to a parent figure. This could be an ex with children, but it is something to do with the past. That's interesting. I do feel this person knows about you, feminine. You probably have passed them. Ooh, that's so cold. That's so cold. No judgment. This person, as far as they're concerned, you've got their profit. You've got their... You're about to get everything in their mind. That's really strange. Okay, this person can be quite vengeful, and these aspects happening this week are yucky, so be careful where you're going, who you're around. Be aware of your surroundings for the next 2 weeks. You know, astrologically, go and research Venus in opposition to Pluto. It's not pretty. So just be aware of your surroundings, because these sort of things can happen. Nastiness, okay? These are people from the past, in their beliefs of what they're owed, what they need, what their values are, what their thoughts and patterns are, coming back for revenge. So it could be just a little bit nasty for a week. Yeah, they're like, no. But it's because I feel masculine ended it. Because the masculine didn't want to work with them no more. This is not accepting. They feel somehow divine feminine has something to do with this. That's actually surprised them. They're like, I wasn't even with feminine. Oh, anyhow. Yep, that's what they're saying. I wasn't even with the feminine. It's a countership. A countership? Accountability. A countership? I'm making up new words during bloody Mercury retrograde. Personally, I do not know the person who is... Fail star. Is there something we should know? Anyhow, any questions? I'm going to love you and leave you. Very strange. Very strange. Just let's move through this portal, right? We're at the summer solstice for some of you in the other hemispheres. winter solstice, brand new energy, higher octane where there's more enlightenment. Things that are hidden are going to come to the forefront. And you're going to have some revelations, my loves, okay? So what has been hidden from you will be shown. People's cards will be shown. I'm just saying. Be prepared. Yes, through your ascension, you could get triggered in the next 2 weeks. I do have the Juno Aries in Chiron retrograde webinar. We're having both Jupiter and Neptune in Pisces retrograde, which can be our psychology. And we're also having Aries and Chiron retrograde on the 15th next month. So I've got the webinar there for your psychological support. It's called Call a Friend, right? If you do want to be part of that, book now. There is a cutoff point that it does close. So if you feel that you have been up and down a bit, gauge where you're at near the full moon. And if you're feeling pretty funky, book it in. I will see the members this Friday, and hopefully by then I will have the dark karmic energies recorded. I'll just call it dark karmic. It's karmic energies relating to earth, air, fire, water with the extension up. Hopefully by the weekend. You know, I have been pretty booked, but my hope is to launch them this weekend. And this Friday I will be in the members hub. So if you do want to come join us, come join us. Otherwise I will be live. The schedule comes up, so there is a notification now, and it tells you which side will be on, whether it be the members or the main platform. And what I'm trying to do is have turns in each location, but during the month, if I'm not live on the Friday in the main page, I'll be live in the members hub, and I will do other live content on the page. That's all. So we don't just touch base on one subject, but you're going to get regular twin flame by elements, psychic readings at the beginning of the month, and a psychic by zodiac sign mid-month with extension. I love yous. Take care.